right, yogis, so today we're going to be doing forward fold and halfway lift or half forward fold, also known as Uttanasana or Ardha Uttanasana. So these are really great for lengthening the hamstrings, lengthening the spine, lengthening the entire back body pretty much. And then also it can instill kind of a relaxation, kind of dropping us more into the parasympathetic. So when we have our head below our heart is usually when we can tap into that. So when we forward fold, head is lower than the heart, and that kind of brings us more into the rest and digest. So without further ado, we'll go into Ardha Uttanasana and Uttanasana. So you want a strong foundation. Let's start at feet at hip width. Remember to find those four corners of the feet. Grip a little bit with the mat to lift the arches. Tucking the tailbone slightly. We're actually going to practice a little bit of pelvic tilting here before we do our forward fold. So let's place the hands on the hips. Slight bend in your knees. And then we're going to daffy duck butt is what I like to call it. So stick the butt out. And we're kind of imagining that there's a bowl in your hips. You're kind of tipping that bowl forward and spilling the water out. So daffy duck. And then we're going to do old man butt. So that's the opposite. So you start to scoop the tailbone in. You're lifting that bowl up, kind of scooping that water back up. And this is an exaggerated version, but this is old man butt. You really want to just be like that. All right. So do that back and forth a few times. Slight bend to the knees. Tilt the hips forward, daffy duck. Tilt the hips back, scoop the tailbone under, old man butt. Good. Again, hips forward. And tilt back. Beautiful. So that's kind of the same action we want to have when we come down into our forward fold. We want to tilt those hips forward, not necessarily daffy duck butt, but that is the action we want, going forward with the hips. And then we can even just keep our hands there in the beginning, coming all the way down. Keep the knees as bent as you like on the first one. In fact, let's all bend our knees nice and generously. We're going to bring the belly onto the thighs. So roll the belly down onto the thighs. Let the head hang. And then release the arms, letting the arms hang. Good. You can grab the opposite elbows here if you'd like. And then just take a few breaths. Knees really bent, even if you feel like you can lengthen them. Finding that lift and lengthening on the inhale. And then exhale, relaxing, deepening, feeling the elbows and head act as weights, kind of drawing you down towards the earth, lengthening the vertebrae in your spine. Good. And then start to lengthen the legs as much as you can, as much as it feels good. Maybe that comes all the way straight. And you'll notice that it kind of shifts where you feel the stretch. When the knees are bent, you tend to feel it more in the spine and in the back. And then when the legs are straight, you start to feel it more in the hamstrings and the back sides of the legs. Good. And you can even sway from side to side. And coming back to center. Release those hands. And then on your inhale, slide the hands up onto the shins. Lift the heart up. Coming into a nice flat back here. So you want to reach through the crown of the head, lengthening away from the hips. And then the shoulders are coming down the back. So if they're coming forward, try to move those shoulder blades, relaxing them down the back. You can even give a little wiggle here. Sometimes that helps feel a little bit and loosen up that sensation in the lower back. And this is Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And then let's exhale again as we come back down. You can let the arms hang if you like. You can let the head hang if you like. And then on your next inhale, you can come up again. If you want to bring the hands to the shins, you can do that. Or if you want to keep the fingertips on the mat, lifting up through the heart, reaching through the crown of the head. You just want to make sure that if your fingers are touching the mat, that doesn't mean that you're compromising the length of your spine. So if you feel like you have to hunch to get those hands down, just bring the hands up onto the shins. It's all good. You'll find more length eventually by doing this instead of trying to rush into getting your hands down to the earth. Good. All right, let's go through a few variations of Uttanasana. So there's Pada Uttanasana, which is placing the hands underneath the feet. So you place the hands underneath the feet, toes are coming towards the wrists. And then again, inhale, lift the heart. Obviously, you're not going to be able to go as far this time. Reach through the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, pull with the arms, trying to bring the belly to the thighs and the head down to the earth, drawing those shoulder blades down the back. And that's really intense on the back sides of the legs. Good. And then release. Good. And then another one you see a lot in yoga classes is you take your peace fingers, your pointer in your middle, you wrap them around your big toe, press down through the feet as you inhale, lift up through the heart, reach through the crown of the head, shoulders drawing down the back. And then on the exhale again, start to bend the elbows out to the sides as you draw the belly towards the thighs, head towards the ground. So a lot of people want to try to bring that forehead in towards the knees, and we don't really want that because that's, again, giving us that roundness in the spine. We want belly to thighs, forehead reaching to the earth. And that's actually going to give us much more length in the back side of the body. And that goes for pretty much all forward folds. Good. And then gently release. Inhale to your halfway lift. And let's just do a nice stand up. So exhale, coming down, bend the knees. Push through the feet as you inhale. Lift the heart, take the arms up, out to the sides. And stand all the way up, hands together. Exhale, hands down through center. And then coming down by your sides. Beautiful. So that is Uttanasana and Ardha Uttanasana. Forward fold and halfway lift. So let me know if you had any questions, if that was helpful. Another thing that I forgot to demonstrate is really good is you can place a wedge or fold your mat. And just bring your heels onto that, and that can kind of help give you that length in the hamstrings if you're feeling really tight back there. So if you come forward, hang down. Bend the knees, push through the feet. Inhale all the way up. Hands over the head. Exhale, hands down through center and then down by your sides. Beautiful. So a little back and forth there, sorry, but yeah. So let me know if you had any questions and I will be happy to answer them.